All right, so I am going to do number 31 and 32 on page 104. Actually, are we on 104 anymore? No, we're on page 105, sorry. All right, so number 31 says, the instructions for 31 and 32 are write a rule for G described by the transformations of the graph of F, then identify the vertex. So number 31 gives you f of x equals x squared, and then it says it's a vertical stretch factor of 4, a reflection in the x-axis, and it's followed by a translation up two units. So I'm going to take this as a 3-step process. I'm going to correct my spelling. A 3-step process. So I know I need to take f of x. We're making this g of x, right? This new function. But what we're doing is we're taking f of x and we're applying these 3 things to it. So the very first thing is a vertical stretch factor of 4. Vertical stretches happen on the outside of the parentheses. So when I do the first one, this g of x is going to be, the 4 is going to be times the f of x. So I'm going to be putting a 4 on the outside, which is just 4x squared. Okay, so right now that's my g of x. That's not my final answer though. Now I need to do a reflection in the x-axis. So if it's across the x-axis, the reflection happens on the outside of the parentheses. So now my new g of x is just going to be on the outside, right, of 4x squared. So now I have a reflection down across the x-axis and a vertical stretch of a factor of 4. Then my final g of x needs to translate 2 units up. So now I'm going to go negative 4x squared plus 2. And this is my g of x once I've translated it. Now if I need a vertex for this, my h is 0 because there isn't one inside the parentheses that I can see. So I'm going to assume it's 0. And my k is 2. So my vertex is 0, 2. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And now we'll go to number 32. Number 32 is a little bit different. So it says for f of x squared is what you're originally changing. Oops. That's your original function. It's going to do vertical shrink by a factor of 1/3. You know, y'all, I think I would rather do number 33. I think number 33 might be better because it's going to do a horizontal shrink. Let's do number 33. Or, yeah, we want to do a horizontal stretch. Yeah, so we'll do number 33 instead. I think that'll be better for you. So our original function is f of x equals 8x squared minus 6. And this function is going to go through a horizontal stretch by a factor of 2. It is then going to translate 2 units up. All right. And it is finally going to go through a reflection in the y-axis. All right. So let's talk about what happens here. So first off, I'm coming up with my g of x, right? We don't know what that is yet. But I do know the very first thing it does is it takes a horizontal stretch of a factor of 2. And this is where we have to remember, okay, we're doing a horizontal stretch. Horizontal happens inside the parentheses. And when they happen inside the parentheses, it is by a factor of the reciprocal. So this is actually going to be 1/2. Okay, so in this, I'm going to have something like 8 times 1/2 x squared minus 6. Okay, so I've just done a horizontal stretch by a factor of 1/2. All right, so now I need to translate 6 units up. Well, if I'm going to take this whole thing and it's got to translate 6 units up, I know translating up is outside of the parentheses, and it is plus, and it's not 6 units, sorry, it's plus 2 units. Plus 2 units up. So it's going to go plus 2. So then my new function now is going to be 8 times 1/2 x squared. And then negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4. All right, now I need to do a reflection across the y-axis. Reflections across the y-axis happen inside the parentheses. So I'm going to put that negative for the reflection inside here. And then I need to simplify this to get my final g of x, okay? So that negative inside flips it across the y-axis. The 1/2 actually horizontal stretches it by a factor of 2. And then the minus 4 on the end is what's going to move it down, move the original up 2 units. Of course, it was at negative 6, and now it's going to be at negative 4, right? So if I simplify this, then that's going to be 8. Negative 1/2 squared is 1/4 x squared. Those parentheses drop. And then minus 4. And then 8 times 1/4 is 2x squared minus 4. This is our g of x. Okay? And then if I'm looking at this, I don't see a horizontal shift. There's no parentheses. So my h is 0, and my k goes down 4 units, so negative 4. So my vertex is 0, negative 4. I hope this helps. If you need some more help on that, just let me know, and I can explain it next time. Okay? There you go. Y'all have a great day.